Hi there folks, I'm back with a few more videos today. I'm in a really special spot. As you can see, I'm in a lovely little river. There's all sorts of insects going on and it's quite a nice day as well. And today I want to do a couple of videos. Just keep on panning here a bit more to see where I am. You might hear the occasional train or the occasional bus in the background, but that's all part of it. Those little insects there, I do not know what they are. They're like a cross between like a dragonfly and a butterfly. There's one just down there now. There's a lovely bit of sun, but they're beautiful, so hopefully they'll come into view. So anyway, I wanted to talk today. Hold on, let's see, here comes the train now. Right, I wanted to talk today about my experiences with ghosts. I listened to a really good interview today with Zak Bagans and Chris Jericho on Jericho's radio. It was on YouTube and it was absolutely brilliant, really good, brought up a lot of stuff. So yeah, even though I'm a big fan of a lot of those shows, I think at the end of the day it comes down to your own experience, to what you make of it, and what you can see as true and what isn't. But when I was 7, I was in the Cubs and the Scouts. See that little butterfly? There he is, look, he's just landed there. He's absolutely stunning. Here he goes. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's right on the scopes now. So here's the trains. But yeah, so going back to the story, I remember I was in Cub Scouts and we were sat around the campfire. Yeah, look at those lot. And we sat around the campfire and it was really late. I needed to go to the toilet, so I walked maybe, I don't know, 100 metres away to some nettles. And the nettles were about sort of my height really at the back. So as I was standing there urinating, a figure appeared behind the nettles, and it was the figure of a really beautiful lady dressed in an Elizabethan dress with a face completely white, like with makeup, and she had red hair and she had an amazing dress on. She was very beautiful and very serene, and she appeared for a couple of seconds to me and then she disappeared, and when I blinked and looked away again and looked back at her again, she was half there. She was like she'd turned into some sort of wispy smoke that then slowly just disappeared. It was quite something else, and I wasn't scared, I was more shocked really what was going on. I later did some research on the area. I remember some of the places, there was an outdoor kitchen we used, and I remember seeing the foundations in there. So when I went to the library and checked it out, it actually turned out to be an Elizabethan manor, and you know, she was either like a ghost revisiting that spot, which I believe she was, or she could have been like a residue ghost, but I think she was an actual ghost. And since then I've stayed in haunted houses and had many haunted experiences, but I've never actually seen a ghost. I've had some really bad poltergeist activity happen to me when I was staying with a friend, and he had a doggy there who was normally really brave and shows no fear of other dogs or people. Absolutely brilliant doggy, but on that particular night, funny enough, me and the doggy were sat in the living room watching Paranormal Activity, the first one, and that was a full-on movie. I mean, the way they'd done that, it was so real. And halfway through that movie, heard a smash in the bathroom, and when I ran in there, the shampoo bottle had been chucked on the ground and broken part of the tile. It wasn't like it just fell off and broke a tile. It was lifted up and smashed onto the tile, made a huge noise. Now I knew something was up because, like I say, the doggy's normally really fearless, but on this particular occasion he didn't want to go anywhere near the room, and when I tried to force him in there, he barked to me and said, look, I'm not going in there, with his bark. So I realised back then, you know, something, you know, that was a really heavy situation. I also stayed in a few haunted houses. One time I stayed in a haunted house for a few weeks, and I woke up in the morning and oh my god, it was panic. I've never had this before. I was lying on my front, and for about half an hour I was battling to move and I couldn't move. All I felt was this massive weight on my back, And the only thing I was like, they called it sleep paralysis, but I couldn't. The only thing that I could do was move my eyes, and I couldn't move anymore. But it wasn't like my body was paralysed. It was like there was weight on the extremities, the outside part of all my body, that was stopping me moving from actually getting up. And when I did get up, I felt something had just like come off my shoulders. So that was quite a full-on experience. But I've done stupid things like Ouija boards, as you probably know in some of my videos, where the glass has moved, but I was never 100%. I'm not sure if it was anything that was real like that. But what I can say is, and this is what I think is important for everyone with these sort of experiences, is and stuff that you see on TV shows, unless you've experienced it yourself, and you're never going to fully know if what they're portraying is real, because I've had a limited amount of experiences with ghosts, like most people. So when there's other stuff that comes up, things like creatures and Bigfoot and all of that, then I have a problem with that. Although one time when I was away, I did actually come across some strange ghost creature, kind of like reminded me of some sort of rhino or some sort of prehistoric animal, but that's another story in itself. But I would say that was a ghost animal, and I do believe in those. But there's so many things I haven't experienced with regards to ghosts, that unless you experience it yourself, you can never be fully sure whether it's real or not. And even then, there's different reasons why it's just entertainment rather than education. So yeah, that was my video about ghosts. I hope you enjoyed the video as well, because like I say, I'm going to pan away again, but this is just such a beautiful little spot. There's so much going on here in nature. I'm right in the thick of it. It must be the most overgrown part of the year, because a lot of this in front of me by this little brook is just completely like desolate. Basically, you can see right across the floor. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks.